The Telluride Hybrid is the most power a Telluride has ever had. And to put that into content, 55 horsepower more, 28 pound-feet of torque more than the turbocharged 4-cylinder that also increases torque by 49 pound-feet. Yes, we lose 17 horsepower going into the ICE variant, but what makes this hybrid shine is you're also increasing a lot of MPG. You get more than enough clearance, more than enough interior space. Did Kia manage to make one of the best hybrids in class? I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and King Gailey Kia in Newport Richey has given us the all-new 2027 Kia Telluride Hybrid X-Line SX Prestige all-wheel drive in terrain brown matte over black. 9 different colors to choose from on the exterior, with 2 different interior colors to choose from, and a total of 5 trims, and the most power the Telluride has ever had underneath the hood. It's also achieving 13 mpg more than the ICE for the city and 10 mpg more for the highway. It starts off with 7.4 inches of clearance. They do not raise to the 9.1 inches like the X Pro on the ICE. Full LED headlights, daytime runnings with projector LED fog lights. There isn't any recovery hooks in the front. Front and rear parking sensors with a 360-degree reverse camera. You also have the 3D view so you can go all around the vehicle, and it also has a sub-menu which will change for the tow, 4,500 pounds maxing, the side to side, as well as the full reverse. When you put it into drive, you'll have the front camera which will show trajectory basically for like a car wash. You can also do the side to side and the whole front. The cool thing is this digital rear view mirror, when you put it into reverse, it adjusts downwards to make it a little bit easier. Plus you have auto dimming, you get the home link, and you still have physical controls in the interior with the driver mode select and your terrain mode here, which will have your snow, mud, and sand. And underneath the hood receives the 2.5-liter turbocharged hybrid 4-cylinder producing 329 horsepower and 339 pound-feet of torque paired to a 6-speed automatic transmission, achieving 30 mpg for the city, 32 mpg for the highway, with a combined at 31 mpg. Now yes, we've lost the V6 engine, and if you go into the ICE, you're going to decrease horsepower, you'll increase torque, but you'll also increase towing by 500 pounds. And increase payload by about 4 pounds. We're set with these 21-inch wheels with a 4-spoke design with more of an off-road style kit instead of having that off-road suspension for the X Pro, because this is only in an X line. They don't have an X Pro. Here's the new key fob, which is basically the same. You also have the deployable handles, side view mirrors, which has the blind spot view monitoring. We'll show you that in a second. But when you lock this and you auto start this, those amber lights will indicate that it started. Now you can move the vehicle forward and backwards with Smart Park. Unfortunately, I guess it senses something, so it completely turned the sensor off. Going inside, you're going to have 10-way power seat adjustment for the passenger side with Syntec leatherette and Syntec suede inserts with the X-Line embossed. And you have this mesh for your headrest, which helps breathe. I actually like that. Heated ventilated passenger seat, ergo motion driver seat with 18-way power seat adjustment, 16 speakers through Meridian sound system. And because it's longer, you're going to feel that in the interior also. Seamless air vents, 29.6 inches of screen configuration, and you get the pattern in the interior here. Look at the knee space at 6'3", over 7 inches. On this side, I have an additional 6 inches. You get a full pass-through, a his and her wireless charging pad. Unfortunately, my knees will be up in the air, but because the footwells are so deep, it's going to be a lot more comfortable of a drive with the microfiber suede headliner, a moonroof, panel for the second row, LED interior lights, and that pattern carries on into the center, opening up into cup holders, which you can close this out and maximize storage capacity. Let's fire it up. Blind spot view monitoring, use these indicators. It's going to show you the camera that's projected on the side view mirror in the 12.3 gauge cluster. The signal is free. This is an upgrade, which it's awesome because you also still have blind spot, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, multi-functionality on the new steering wheel with the paddle shifts, with a 12.3 informational display with wireless connectivity like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM AM FM streaming, Bluetooth audio. You get this 4-inch screen here, which basically makes me feel like this is one whole screen. I actually like the way they've done that. When you click onto this, it's going to project in the center for your dual climate control settings. You still have the physical controls here with USB ports here. This is going to be soft. It opens up into a smaller storage pocket, but don't freak out. That's because they give you more storage in the second row with the table and a storage bin, cup holders here, USB ports behind both of the front seats, and also storage behind both of the front seats. And that micro suede comes into the back with like a holder here. You get the grab handles or the handles. I mean, whatever you want to call them. It's perfectly fine to me. I'm just not trying to say bad words. Knee space, I got about 6.5 inches here. On this side, I have an additional 6 inches. Headroom is perfectly fine. Door panel and dash, the configuration does a decent job. Just because this is the hybrid, I would like to see a little bit more premium materials. I get it, we're getting this off-road style, but it's getting a little bit off-road too much. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. Acoustic side windows, front windscreen, so the sound deadening should be a lot better. New grab handle, it's going to be a little bit more on the firm side here with a medium-sized storage pocket. And of course, it has the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty powertrain. The second row, that's the opening that you get with the captain seat configuration. You could get a bench on different trims. That mesh head that's perforated, well, now you have a pillow that's coming into the second row and also the third row, but you'll also notice you're losing that stitch work going into the third row. The door card is going to have the manual sun shades, more of the harder materials here, and it's a little bit more on the firm side with a smaller storage pocket down here. Sitting behind me in the driver's seat position I would be driving, I have about 5 inches of knee space, and on this side I have an additional 5.5 inches. Third climate control, air vents in the ceiling, LED interior lights, plenty of headroom for a family, and you can also adjust these back to relax, where no one would be able to fit behind me. I've actually demonstrated that here, which I'll show you how it looks when I'm sitting back there. And you can adjust these forward, which will give you a lot more space in the back. And it's actually not that bad for me here. This sensor here will indicate if something is coming before you open the door, and it will not allow the door to open. I think that's a pretty cool feature. To go into the third row, you push this button here, it's going to adjust. You might have to pull it because it's brand new, and that gives us nearly 20 inches of an opening to fit 3 more, but these are basically jumper seats, so they're pretty thin, and it's really just for your butt. You're not gonna have a lot of leg space here. Cup holders on both sides, as well as USB ports and air vents, and you can see it's carved out for you, but let's see how I look back here. With the knee space, I have about 1/2 inch, and I can actually just leave my knee here. If these seats are back, I'm not gonna even be able to fit behind there. The air vent is literally right in front of my face. Headroom, I might have 1/2 inch, if that, and that's if I'm sitting in the upmost position. Now, if I sit it back, I can actually sit back here, but you're gonna lose some cargo. And sitting into the center, I mean, I can just stretch out, so it's not an issue there with feet. But leg and shoulder space is going to be an issue, especially because of this. And it's unfortunate because we have about 16.5 inches from side to side. And as long as I'm with the seat reclined, I could actually maybe fit back here, but I wouldn't do it. And the styling continues into the rear with your LED tail lights. The trunk lip spoiler is going to cover the rear windshield wiper. The lower gets the glossy black elements. There's a spare tire tucked underneath there. And I guess the only problems that I have when you're going into the hybrid, you cannot get an X Pro, which would give us that 9.1 inches of clearance, but it keeps that standard off-roadsy profile. But I am gaining MPG, whether it's city, highway, or combined, but I'm also paying about $700 more than going into the ICE variant that's comparable to this. Less trims to choose from, but if you're going into the hybrid, I would recommend to at least keep it 4 or 5 years, because it's gonna take you that many years in order to recoup the extra dough that you're spending on the MSRP. Let me know which way you would go. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe and the like, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. Power liftgate going into 21.3 cubic feet of storage, which is 1 cubic foot less than the ICE variant. You have a home plug here. and a 12 volt here. So I actually like this because I feel like I'm in the 21st century with that. Bag holders here and here. Underneath the floor also is going to be a little bit less storage capacity because of this area here, and you will not be able to put any privacy cover underneath. You have your measurement right here in centimeters and inches, and maybe, I guess, some cup holders there. I brought my measurement, and it's 53 inches from side to side. I positioned the third row in the seat in the furthest position back in the regular standard position. A front to back is giving us 22 inches. Split fold the third row, pull these levers, 60-40 split, 47.7 cubic feet of storage, which is another 1 cubic foot less than the ICE variant, giving us a front to back over 4 feet at 50 3/4 inches. To maximize cargo to 88.3 cubic feet, you push these buttons right here and they'll fold down these seats. It's a brand new car, so I'm gonna have to do it myself manually. That is going to be 1 cubic foot less than the ICE, and a front to back over 7 feet at 88 and near a half an inch. Because it's longer, it's wider, it's going to penetrate in the interior, and you're gonna feel that whenever you're doing any maneuverabilities. But because this is a hybrid with the power you have, look at this. You can pass people. And obviously you could do it with the ICE variant too, but you could do it just a little bit better here because you got a lot more power here. Blind spot view monitoring, use the indicators. People in Florida don't seem to use them, but if you do, you can see it in the gauge cluster, plus you still have blind spot monitoring. It's a lot more refined of a drive too than the new ICE variant. I don't really hear much road noise, and this is 21-inch wheels. I don't hear the engine either. And I'm also getting over 10 mpg more. I don't know why you would consider not getting the hybrid. Obviously the cons to it is you're gonna pay more money. You're gonna lose 1 cubic foot of storage. You're gonna lose some ground clearance. You're gonna lose some payload. There's a few things that's irritating, and they don't give you the ergo motion seat still on the passenger side. I don't know why they don't do that. They don't do it on any trim, so it really doesn't matter whether you go hybrid or ICE. Brakes on the vehicle feel a lot more heavy here than it did on the prior, but this also weighs a little bit more too because it's a hybrid. I'm digging the quietness though, and I have it in sport mode. I'm gonna change that mode to eco, or just put it in my drive, which is basically your everyday driving. I feel like I'm sitting higher than 7.4 inches of clearance. I like that acoustic windows are surrounding me. There's only 5 trims, so it's a lot easier to buy in the hybrid, because when you go into a lot and you have 10 different trims on an ICE variant, that's a freaking lot. I don't know why they don't just do packages at that point. But I mean, look how quiet it is. You don't get that same refinement with the Turbo 4. And this is still a turbo, so turbo lag, we're at 40. I mean, this is a hybrid too, so it has that motivation. Now, obviously, if you put it into sport mode, it's gonna clean that up. So we're gonna change that so you can see the difference. Night and day difference. The engine kind of escalates a little bit more so, but you really have to hit over 2.5 to 3 RPM to really hear it. 6-speed automatic transmission. I actually like that they chose that opposed to the 8-speed. Is it the best in class? No, unfortunately it's not. But for what you're getting as an overall value, it's still going to be one of the least expensive compared to the competition, because this is fully loaded. Going to Toyota, going to Honda, Honda doesn't even have a hybrid, so you can't really go into Honda. But when you go into Toyota, holy crap, you're gonna be talking around $60-ish thousand to get comparable features that you're already getting standard here. And I think this actually fits the segment a little bit better. The only con that I really have, actually I should say problem, is they make it really driven towards an off-road style. This is a unibody construction. You're not gonna be doing any of that, so it's literally just style elements similar to Honda, but I appreciate that we have a hybrid. If I was looking in this category, the only other problem I have is the Palisade is really good and you can get a 6-cylinder. That has a lot of power too. And the seat comfort is gonna be a little bit more on the firm side here. The suspension though is smooth. You don't really feel hardly any imperfections coming in. Obviously, if you hit potholes and things of that nature, you're gonna feel it. These are 21-inch wheels. There's no way around that. But overall, the drive is comfortable. A few little things that they could do to make it better, which I guess they'll label it 2027.5. But it's definitely a lot better than the prior and a lot more refined. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here.